Hello, and welcome to a very calm Crusader Kings. Happy Thor Thursday. We're working towards Mother of Us All as a pagan ruler for Thor Thursday. It's going well. The quick Coles Notes version is, after adopting feudalism, we adopted feudal elective so that I can expand as large as I want without my empire getting torn to pieces by Confederate partition. And I reformed the faith with being able to win elections in mind, using legalism and adorcism and esotericism to make it so that it will be easy for me to get virtues through adorcism and esotericism, and that this will make it very likely that my vassals will be happy and loyal because of legalism. That is the quick version. Using elective succession like this has also helped with successions, which wasn't really the plan. So most of the game, my capital was here in Nikki, but as you can see, I have given it to my daughter and moved my capital up to here. But here's the trick. Then I changed who I was voting for to be my daughter, got everyone to follow suit, and on my death, we'll go back to playing her, which also, she's ready to take strengthened bloodline. So that'll be very good for us. And her first male child, will end up being king of Ajuran in the future. So if I can get her first male child a kingdom within my empire, and then I murder her husband, Ajuran will become a part of my empire, without even needing to go to war for it. So that will be very nice. So I've been looking around at this screen a little bit before I started recording. I found a few rulers who weren't of my religion, and I also noticed that the fervor for my faith is getting a bit low, probably because I've been fighting a lot of holy wars. So let's just open up the hats search here, and we'll start with arbitrary. As a vice, we'll sort by age, and we are looking for people. Here we are. She's a priest, we can tell by her hat. But she's sinful, we don't like that. We will murder her. There. That'll help us increase our fervor. Or more accurately, it'll help prevent our fervor from going down. What? But he's not a king. I should still have a... That's very disappointing. He's not a king, so he shouldn't have taken away my patronage of the Order of the Bush Spirits by me giving it to him. Oh, but somehow he was vassalized by my daughter. Well, good for her. Okay, I'm happy that she is doing well. I don't know how she got him to be her vassal. But she did. But I want that, there. I want their patronage back. So, there. Sorry, daughter. Oh, and I can let go of some stress. Oh. Excellent. We can give my son here even more places. There you go. Because my castle in my temporary new capital of Cuse just finished. There we are, some farms and fields. There, good. Okay, I think we're trying to conquer the Maghreb within this lifetime. I have a few options available to me about how to do it. For example, if I claim her title and then press it, I'll have this kingdom. What is it? The Kingdom of Anbia. And then I can continue to conquer Anbia with de jure claims instead of holy wars, which is good for fervor. But in the meantime, having an independent king is good for my renown. So, what should I do? Try and keep fervor high, or try and increase renown? I think we'll go with fervor. We will go with fervor. After all, the goal of the achievement is to convert everyone to Bori, or a different Reformed African faith, but I chose Bori. So, who is she defending against here? Amir. Okay, well, he's losing though. So. But you know what? If I can take the Samarad Emirate here. There. If instead of... I don't need to move over to this kingdom right now. I don't have Africa yet. So... could offer to help her defend against this holy war, which... Or... Is she of my dynasty? She is not. Are there any large rulers around here of my dynasty? Because a bunch of them are. They're all county tier from the looks of it. Okay, so I can't just take her kingdom as the head of her dynasty. I can't just take her duchy, and it's large enough that that'll take me most of the rest of the way to Africa. I'll need to fabricate a claim to it later. So if I'm just a little bit patient, I'll get a claim on this place. So I'll do that next. See it done. Then after this, we will want a claim on the duchy here. Okay, now we declare war for the Sheikdom of Satfura. We'll fight this war with the faithful of the bush spirits and my levies, and that is sufficient. What's this? So she can marry someone, so let's have her marry a powerful knight somewhere. He's a powerful knight, excellent. And I have some other people in my court who need to get married. Like this guy. And they can all get married. Once again, to bring me powerful knights. So I had to fabricate a claim up here because it was just barely outside of Holy War by Sea range. But I'm hopping my way over using Holy Wars to use a kingdom scale Holy War to take Maghreb. Okay, so he was collecting secrets and I just told him to stop. And the reason he was collecting secrets was I want to be able to murder this guy's daughter because she is ambitious and it's very difficult to get ambitious people to vote for anyone other than themselves. in an election. Oh, we'll just pin her there for now. I don't care about him anymore. These are from my last ruler. People who I attracted to my court for the sake of pressing their claims. Most of which didn't work out because the wars lasted so long that the claimants died of old age before the wars were over. I lost a war for Romagna and Aquitaine that way, or rather, the wars became invalidated. I lost a claimant to the Abbasid Empire that way. This will be easy. May she rest in peace. Good. We just made the religion a little bit more... We gave our religion a little bit more integrity there. Now we will arrange for her murder. Now we got to see if there's anyone here that we can blackmail with our various secrets. Yes, there is her. There. Use a hook, then she has to join. We'll also bribe her to join. Let's see what happens then. Oh, good. We have full secrecy. That's important. He's a ruler, so he'd be more expensive to bribe. So we'll just go with her. She's also a ruler. There. Okay, so now we have the war target, so... Yeah, sailing over is fine. We could walk, but keeping an army raised is actually very expensive. So finishing the war faster is often better than not paying for boats. Oh, that's good. We have a higher level of renown. I'm very happy about that. Oh, wonderful. Who's this guy? He's willing to let me vassalize him. Where is he? Ah. Certainly. Welcome to Kenemboru. Let's send 1,000 people up here. Okay, so first we'll all group up. Looks like we're going to lose the war target in a moment. Oh, maybe not. Thanks to them infighting there. Alright, learn on the job. That's an amazingly good one. Although I have been prioritizing loyalty over ability. so it's not as good as it is for the way I usually play. Sure, I'll take a concubine. Thanks. Let's see what earthly focus gives me. Bonus to piety and clergy opinion. Insight in the heavens. Bonus to learning. I want that. Priest, you can't tell me not to study the stars. Let's see. Ah, okay. We're not going to bother participating in that war. We just don't care that much. Oh, come on, daughter. You need to have a son. Come on, you two. Get to it. Quit talking about your herbal medicines and get busy. Okay, so now, almost within range of Maghreb. In this case it is called Telemakin. Okay, so from here, 2 sea zones, 1, 2, we can go after Mallorca, okay? And we would want to take Algiers, specifically. None of the other ones are in an entire emirate, so it'd be a highly inefficient way to spend my piety. And I don't need the extra devotion it would give me. So, let's unpause it for a day to make sure that my holy order has been dismissed. And now it's time to take Algiers. We'll hire the faithful of the bush spirits again. And now we also raise my army. They can just walk over there as soon as they're all gathered together and ready. Oh, Aquitaine has joined the war. This might get a bit interesting. They're still not very strong, but it might be strong enough that I can't win it with just a holy order and my men-at-arms. How big is their army now? No, we can still beat it with just these guys. Set the plan in motion. Such a tragedy. Oh good, my fruit orchards are finished. Now, Pastoral lands. No, we don't want the Wile of Tunis, we want the Emerald. We don't want him to lose to populists, I think. Let's see. Somalian populists fighting over here. In Outer Ajuran. No, we want him to conquer as much as possible and to hold it all together. So, okay, we will help him. Oh jeez, he's such weak rebels. At least by our standards. Just remember your duty, you have to make sure I get a grandson. That will help you keep a kingdom and you give me a grandson. There. That army will mop the floor with them. Ah, nice. And my dynasty already rules Abyssinia, but it's nice that I have a guest that will allow me to bring them back into the fold if I want to. I will eventually want to for the Unite Africa decision. Oh good, I can hold mystical communion. And how is it going up here? Good. Now we'll go take my war target. Hooray! We have quilted armor. Sure, we can finish up currency here, I guess. We can help it progress. But in 3 years we're going to be switching to battlements. I'm of two minds, really. I could go for battlements first, or I could go for royal prerogative first. I know those are the first two that I want to get, and I like to go between ones that will cost me money to implement and ones that won't, because otherwise it tends to Sorry about that. Had a bit of trouble with my headphones there. What was I saying? Oh, I like to switch between innovations that cost money to implement and ones that don't. Otherwise, there's no Well, sometimes I like to stick exclusively with ones that don't cost money at all. That's pretty good too. But in this case, I want to have more buildings to spend more money on. Back in Hausa. What happened down here? Did we fail to find the army or something? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, good. She's an insightful thinker. Now, I want her... Sure, maybe she can get a marriage. No. I want one to a foreign duke who's not our religion. We'll try with this one first. There. I think I'm not currently trying to assassinate anyone, right? So, to the hat search. We'll go back to looking for arbitrary. So, search by age, and now we're looking for priestly hats. There we go. No sinful priests. In spite of that, we still had one. That is too bad. Okay, so I now have Algiers, so that's nice. Okay, so this daughter, with her future husband, if I could make her a duke, then eventually his county will end up getting... He's highly unlikely to inherit the duchy. He's going to inherit Putejalan right here, which is only a county. So if she's a duke, then it will always gravitate towards the duchy through successions. Even if Faran Sidibe dies first, and her son or daughter, her heir, becomes the Count of Putejalan, because so if I make her the Duchess of Amri, right over here, that's his dynasty name. It is the Duchy of Algiers to me. Then on her death, he would become my vassal because he inherits that duchy, which is of a higher rank. Instead of sailing them back, I think I'm going to just leave them there. They can wait until this is over. Oh good, I'll work off some stress. Oh, some crop fields are done. Excellent. And now you can build... Oh, I don't have very much money right now. That's too bad. Do have some prisoners that can be ransomed. A couple French dukes. There. That'll pay for my agricultural developments. Bye, my daughter. You will go and live in Poland. Lucky you. Oh, that isn't Poland. He's Polish. But that is not Poland. Did my other castle just finish or something? Nope. Okay. Where's my son here? Here you are. Let's give you more lands in Africa. Yeah, I don't need to keep swaying her. Okay, now. Why is she voting for my son instead of for my daughter? Let's see. She thinks she's too young. Okay. She doesn't like my wife's husband. I mean, my daughter's husband. And they have a personality conflict. Now I will get to work swaying her. Oh my. Her daughter has converted to Wackism. I'll need to make sure she converts back. Good, now we disband all. Ah, good, I can develop my capital. Oh, I have a truce with him. Okay, we'll wait before I set up my youngest daughter to be the Duchess of Algiers. But I will give her land right away, just in case her husband inherits land right away. Let's demand her husband's conversion as well. Good. And now, there. And I need to pin her up there so I don't forget about this. We're still not in range of the Maghreb. Okay. But if we take this place, we will be. They have a lot of places. Am I not within range of them? 1, 2. I guess I'm not. Huh. Well, I could always take this place. That would be good. That's probably the better choice. Yeah, that is the better choice. So. There we are. Here we are with the faithful of the bush spirits. Oh. That's where we want to go first. Two years away. I'm very excited. Oh, good. My next castle that's finished building here. Start with farms and fields again. We want the entire duchy. Oh, hey, after a civil war it now belongs to a member of my dynasty. So I can just claim his title. Good. Thanks for the concubine. I am celibate, but it's still nice. There. Ooh, I'm exalted among men. Oh, who's this? Certainly. Someone's trying to murder Tandy. Oh no. Okay, so her opinion is now maxed out. Let's see if she changes her vote. No. Darn. Well, let's see if we get an opportunity for blackmail then instead. It's time to go back to a hat search. We'll stick with the arbitrary vice for now. Sort by age. Looking. Here we go. So sinful. She has 2 sins. He is treacherous, this king of Nubia, but what does protected vassal honor do? Bonus to opinion. I don't think that'll actually help me that much right now. I'm going to publicly accuse him. What evidence is there? I better seize the initiative. Ah, good. My rousing speech on loyalty helped. So, I'm losing all my schemes. The strain of lying. It feels wrong. See, I get focusing less for reduction in scheme power. I gain more stress because this is what needs to be done. Bori, forgive me. No. This is what needs to be done. It's very stressful, but I am particularly good at managing my stress. Yes, all of Tunis will be mine. Good. Very, very good. Here you are, my daughter. I suppose we don't have a need to specifically conquer this place and give you Algiers now. I could instead give you Tehert. That's kind of a lot of money. Oh, that place down there also belongs to me. Excellent. I'll give you all 3 of these places. There. Is it possible to walk across the desert here? It is not. Okay. So it looks kind of like I should be able to, but I can't. So I can't, like on the map, it looks like I now border on Maghreb, but I do not. So I will, in fact, still need to expand up here. There. Excellent. We have a grandson who will be able to inherit Ajuran. I just need to make this son the king of Maghreb. Is everything in my capital building right now? Yeah, instead of the mud brick towers, I want a camelry. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with what's there. Gotta get the first level of buildings over here, but and now over here we can help my son develop his lands. I'll start with a forest. Okay, and now it's time for me to press my claim on Tunis. I will need my men-at-arms and some levies for this one, because not many levies, just some. There, that's enough levies for this war. Everyone can group up. off we go. I can't bring my holy order along with me. These are people of my religion. Excellent. Couldn't have gone better. Force our demand there. Excellent. Disband. Now, when I can afford it, I can make the Kingdom of Africa. And after that, most of the people still here will probably be willing to swear fealty to me, because they are of my religion. Ooh, give me that snake for studies. Give me a bonus to my learning. Very nice. There, I got myself a plush and exotic carpet, because why not? Let's take the Sheikdom of Aurania. Oh, the woods can be such a dangerous place. And then I'm in range for my Kingdom Holy War for the Maghreb. No. Someone else hired my holy order. Well, good for you. I hope you win. Spread the true faith. I am a bit disappointed. It'll cost me a little bit more money to fight this war, but that's okay. Oh. It's trying to express my greater appreciation for representatives of the Vori faith. I think an empathy and kind heart will be the most best. She is, after all, compassionate. Praise the spirits. I am now a scholar. Oh, with all that in mind, one thing I'm curious about, is she improving development in her own county? Yes, she is. Well, a nice thing about that is I'm gonna switch to help improve it also, because when a vassal is doing it and I'm doing it, the bonuses stack. The bonuses after the existing development penalties, but that'll help shoot our capital where the kingdom ought to be ruled from, according to me. The County of Merza gains encouraged. I can let him do it. He gains opinion of me. Can I spend some prestige? Sure, you can do that. So how big is the army I'm up against here? Oh, pretty big. We better bring along some levies. Big. Here we all go. Go ahead and fight them again. All of us together this time. There. That went well. Good, we cut their army quite significantly in size. Oops, there. So, my men at arms, minus the siege. The siegers can go back to friendly territory. My siegers and the levies can all go ahead, start sieging this place. Excellent. And I have had a little bit more time to think about it. And I'm getting royal prerogative before I get battlements. There. Who do I have who can be ransomed? That fella? Her, okay. None of these people seem particularly important to me. I will ransom them away. Go see if anything over here needs building in. Oh, this will really soon. I am currently a little bit short on cash, so maybe I should be more cautious than that. just send them home, save the money, and continue to upgrade things. Pastoral lands. Can keep spying there for a little bit longer. And we assault the fort. Hooray, we won. And we are now within range to do a holy war for the kingdom, the Grand Emirate of the Maghreb. Looks like in the process, we will get very few counties, but we will get some that I can give to my grandson. Converting that one Muwaladi province is going to take a long time. We're going to get started on it right now. Well, I think that's enough for today. We've really achieved a lot this time. I'm quite happy with it. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Mind Moose, and have a good night.